Hello everyone. Today, let's discuss on a topic of importance in human resource management, which is employee discipline. So, we can say that employee discipline can be defined as orderly conduct of affairs or a systematic conduct of affairs in which the employees observe certain standards which are set by the organization. So, this speaks about a situation where the employees have self control and orderly conduct that indicates the extent of genuine teamwork in an organization. The various objectives of discipline. One of the first objectives of discipline is goal accomplishments. When you speak about employee discipline, it is one of the best ways to accomplish or reach the goals of the organization. Whenever goals are set, those employees who are disciplined will follow the stages and reach the goals as they are set. The second is to develop a responsive workforce. Whenever certain orders are given, a responsive workforce will always respond faster to it. So, this is essential in discipline. The second is to change employee behavior. The employees has to be changed so as to follow the orders and rules and regulations which are given by the organization. The next is to exercise better control over employees. So this is again one of the important factors, because whenever employees have discipline, they will do the work which is assigned to them on time and they will be disciplined. The next is to ensure consistency in action. A disciplined employee will do things as per the rules and regulations and as per the stipulations, and definitely there will be consistency in his work. And next, we look into the various forms of discipline. The first is called the positive or proactive discipline. So this is a type of discipline in which we do not use any sort of punishment. In positive or proactive discipline, the employee feels that he should follow the rules and regulations and he has the self-control to do it by himself. So this is actually called the proactive discipline, where the employee follows without being punished. The second is actually called the negative or reactive discipline. In negative discipline, the employee does not have self-control and he does the work or follows the rules because of fear of punishments. The third is actually called the progressive discipline. So this is an interesting type of discipline in which the steps or the various levels of punishments will increase whenever there is a lack in discipline. So maybe the first there is a warning, the next there is a written notice, likewise it will proceed stages. The next is what are the various symptoms of indiscipline in an organization. The first is absenteeism. Indisciplined employees become absent or take leave from work without telling others. So absenteeism is a major cause of indiscipline. The second is poor performance. So indisciplined employees do not give their best and their productivity levels and performance will definitely be low. The third is negligence. So indisciplined employees will not be careful in the works that is given to them. And many times the work will not be done as required by the authorities. So negligence definitely is a symptom of indiscipline. The fourth symptom is causing unsafe working conditions. An indisciplined employee do not care for the various health, safety and healthy precautions which are said in the organization. So breaking these rules will definitely cause unsafe working conditions. The next is willful damage to machinery. An indisciplined employee sometimes causes damage to the machinery and the various infrastructure of the organization. The next is abusing the superiors and co-workers. So definitely a person who is indisciplined or who do not care for the rules and regulations of the organization might retaliate back to the supervisor or might talk back to the co-workers or might abuse his supervisors and co-workers. And the last, his refusal to accept a job assignment. An indisciplined employee feels or that he is not required to complete the works which is assigned to them, or he may not take up the work, or he may not complete these works on time. So these are just some of the symptoms of indiscipline in an organization. Now moving on to the causes of indiscipline. One of the major causes is outdated or old-fashioned practices. When the organization is not moving with the times, this will create problems in the organization. The rules and regulations has to be updated from time to time. If it does not happen, then definitely this can create problems. The second is unfair treatment. When employees feel that they are not treated fairly, or they feel that there is partiality, then this can be a cause for indiscipline. The third is the absence of a code of conduct. When there is no clarity or clear-cut rules or regulations which is given to the employees, this definitely can cause indiscipline, because they can say that they were unaware of the rules and regulations. The next is absence of a proper grievance handling mechanism. Whenever there are problems in the organization, if it is not addressed properly, this can cause grievance, and this can definitely lead to indiscipline. The next is absence of an efficient communication system. When the system of communication from the top management to the lower levels, or from the lower levels to the top management, is not clear, this can also create problems when the message is not given clearly. The last is negative attitude of the employees and their unions. This definitely is a major cause of indiscipline in the organization. Sometimes the unions become more powerful and they do not follow the rules and regulations of the organization. So this can also cause indiscipline. Now moving on to the code of discipline. So definitely every organization has a specific code of discipline that is maintained to see that employees are controlled and are disciplined. It specifies the various obligations for the management and the workers to work in a congenial manner. Now, the code is actually based on a large number of principles. There should not be a strike or lockout without prior notice. There should be no unilateral action in connection to any industry matter. The employees should not follow slow tactics, and no deliberate damage should be caused to plant or property. There are also others wherein the existing machinery should be utilized, and actions that disturb cordial relationships should be avoided, and finally, acts of violations, intimidations, and coercions should not be resorted to. See, these are just some of the rules based on the code of discipline. And what will happen when there is indiscipline in an organization? So one of the things that is done is for making a disciplinary action. So disciplinary action is basically the action taken against the employee by a superior authority for any acts of indiscipline which is conducted in the organization. So these are the various types of disciplinary action which can be followed. So first is warning. The second is an adverse remark, that is actually a remark in his profile or file about the employee. The third is a fine. Fourth is suspension. Fifth is transfer. Sixth is demotion. And if all these do not work, then termination. So when you speak about disciplinary action, definitely there are various stages that needs to be followed. So when you first receive a complaint, first there is a preliminary investigation into the matter. Once the preliminary investigation is done, there is, based on the findings, there is an issuance of the charge sheet against the person. Then the person is actually suspended with pending the inquiry, and the person is expected to reply to the charge sheet. Once that is done, a domestic inquiry is being held, and a decision is actually given by the domestic inquiry whether indiscipline has actually happened or not. Based on that, if the indiscipline has happened, an order is issued. Once the order is issued, the person has the indisciplined employee or the person against which the action has been taken can actually appeal, follow the appeal procedure. And finally, there is review and feedback. So these are actually the various stages that is there in a disciplinary action. So it is always best to see that we do not have to reach all these stages when we can see that the employees are able to follow or discipline using the proactive methods. Thank you.